Good afternoon, Facebook, wherever you are in the world. This is the Restream team, and there are two of us today. Harper, hello.
Hello, Stephen.
Now we normally, we have 10 people in the team in total, and most weeks 8 or 9 of us are here. But this week we don't know where people are. We've not heard. We just want to send our best wishes to Corinda for a speedy recovery.
Definitely.
And you're an inspiration, Corinda. And thank you. Just saw that you actually shared this broadcast, so thank you for doing that. Everything helps as we search for viewers. I mean, that's the thing at the moment, isn't it, Harper? That it's on Facebook. It's very difficult to find viewers.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how many places we can actually broadcast now. So
Yeah. I mean, we Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, our website. Right. Okay. The gang is increasing as we say hello to. Hello, Maria.
Good morning, Stephen and Harper. How are you today?
doing good.
Nice to see you all.
We're quite good. Right,
Good.
you've got the Restream deal, Maria.
Yeah, I did that, and I got the Lumen 5. So I'll probably speak to someone. I hope Stephen or someone else who's helping me of how to actually get it. That's the part I don't understand with this whole thing, is that extra step that you need to do, and I don't know how to do it. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we've got plenty of time. Let's just go over to. I'll do a screen share. Let's be practical.
Thank you. But it might be more useful for me to do it when I'm actually there than just talking.
Well, if this is you, once you've got it, I'm just going over to Appsumo, and
oh, good. You can go in there, right? Oh my god! Oh my god!
I'm going to log in.
This is beyond me. Okay, it's beyond me.
I'm logging in. Okay, now that I've logged in, hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers at this stage. Okay.
It's okay. Hey, I didn't expect this to go this far.
No.
Oh my god.
We have. Right, so if I go screen share now.
Oh no, Restream I got all right. Restream's not a problem. It was
it's Appsumo. I'm going to Appsumo.
Okay.
Well, just a minute. You'll see in a minute.
Okay.
There's method in my madness. I assure you. Yes, I hope there is.
I'm glad there is, Stephen. I'm glad there is, because there's no method in my madness right now. You know, Harper, it's really hard to find good people to do work around the properties, eh?
It is. Yeah, we're seeing that here in the States as well. So.
That's a good topic to talk about, actually. It's awful.
Right.
Yes,
so
okay.
Here we are on Appsumo, and I've logged in. Now, Appsumo is the world's best site for getting LTDs, lifetime deals. So you make one payment forever, and the software is yours to use forever.
Okay.
And basically what you're actually doing is you're actually funding software research and improvement, because the funds that Appsumo take a cut, and why not, because they're actually doing all the marketing, but the software house actually get money to actually expand. So when we go on here and we download something and buy something, we are getting a deal, Appsumo are getting a deal, and the software house win as well. Now you notice over here on the right hand side there's a blue picture, top right. And if I click on that blue picture, hopefully, okay, I can go to products.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to click products. Okay, and it will populate itself in a minute. So there you can see in products, I'll just read it down. I did a free course about launching your app in Appsumo. Okay. I bought VI Loud.
Okay.
Yeah. Bought Switchboard. And I bought OneStream. Okay. Now OneStream and Switchboard and VI Loud, excellent Appsumo deals, which I've had untold benefit from, really. Now, that's the products that I bought. If I click on one of them, okay, let's click on VI Loud. It says redeem your product. Okay.
Okay.
And basically, it tells you to copy the code to your clipboard, yeah, and then click redeem now.
Okay.
That takes you over to whatever website it is. In this case, it takes you over to the video website, and basically it's a direct URL, and you just paste the code that you just copied. Yeah?
Okay, so in other words, for Lumen 5, because one stream I did it already, and I already had an account with the other one I just bought. I don't remember right now. But so in other words, when I redeem the code, I go, it automatically populates me to the website where I purchased, like where it goes to. That's the part I didn't know. It says our partners. I thought, what partners? Is that what it is?
Okay. That's basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. Okay. Back. Okay, so this is the Appsumo homepage. I've clicked the link under my name, and I've just gone for products. Yeah. Now these are the products that I've got an Appsumo and bought. Each product is listed, and for each product, I can click on it.
Yeah.
It gives me two pieces of information: the redemption code, which I copy to the clipboard, and then a link to go to, which will be the link, the software link, and then you just register.
Pop it in there, and that's done.
Yeah.
Okay, because they had other things I had to do too, and I thought, oh my God, this is so much. So I'm glad I didn't realize you were live. This is perfect, Stephen, for other people. I mean, absolutely, Appsumo is the place to go. And I've purchased a number of them because you've suggested it, Stephen. I'm very happy to have. I have to learn how to redeem these things, right? Because I've never done that before either. It's just, yeah. Okay, I get it now, and that's how simple it is.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All you need is a code and a link. Hello, Dom.
Hello, Stephen. Hello, Harper, and hello, Maria.
Hi, Dom.
How's everybody today?
Hi, Dom. Fine, and yourself?
I'm not too bad. I was just a few minutes behind. I was just getting my my medication and stuff. So
Okay, that's okay.
I'm here now. So
well, Stephen took the opportunity to explain how to use Appsumo, and it's really easy once you understand how to use that. Have you used it? Have you used it?
I haven't used that. I just actually bought a year subscription there through Black Friday's offer for Be Live.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I have to relearn everything again on Be Live. So, but I'm sure I'll get the hang of it. And thank you for sending me that that video there, Steven. Kind of do a refresher on Be Live. I appreciate that.
Yeah. You're most welcome, Dom.
Thank you for explaining, Stephen. And certainly, anyone in the public, if you want to learn anything about streaming, get in touch with Stephen. I mean, he's the go-to person. He'd be my go-to person now for about 3 years, and he still is. Thank you, appreciate it.
You're most welcome, Maria. Right. I mean, the thing is that Appsumo's got you could spend a fortune on Appsumo. You really could, because they've got so many things which you would find useful. But I know most of the people that I know who buy an Appsumo, and you ask them what you're doing with that particular deal, and this what deal? Which because the price is so good, you tend to buy something for $49, then forget you bought it.
Exactly. For sure.
But basically, whilst we're here, I might as well do something useful.
For sure.
And hopefully down here is the deal we've just been talking about. 2 webinar systems, Flutin Live and Big View, if you are going to run a webinar at any time, as opposed to a networking broadcast. Those 2 are pretty good. Okay, and I'm just looking for. What's the name of the one you mentioned? You
Lumen 5. Lumen 5. I took it upon you to get it. It was a free deal, which is great, everyone. If you can get in, I think it's over and done with now, Stephen, isn't it? But that was really nice that I got something for free to try it out.
We'll find out. All right, now, okay. I can't get it. You're quite right. Basically, what happens is this: that the deal goes on offer for so many days, and then it expires. Yeah. So if you miss the deadline, then you can't buy it at the special offer price. But the key is, if you do a lot of these, you can actually pay Appsumo $99 a year, and
Okay.
you can get deals after the sell-by date. So when it's finished for the general public, for you and I, as a special member of Appsumo, you can still get it. So I'm not going to spend $99 just to get access to Lumen 5, but
No, no.
as a principle, if you are buying lots of different software, then Appsumo is a great place to go.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I never even knew about them until you told me, and then seeing it in action, like Restream, how important that is, right? And you're saying that we're being streamed to 16 different channels, Stephen. And that's
That
wonderful.
may well be true. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I've just been there to check, and it looks decidedly empty.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
But with one stream, which I got also. So are you doing Restream and one stream at the same time?
I am, yes. That's the theory. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure that is the practice, because I've just been over, and I may have set it up wrongly, or we've gone past the time. I made a mistake.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's how you learn. That's how we learn,
Is-
right?
You learn from your mistakes. I'm going to stop
Exactly.
screen sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't make mistakes, you don't learn, do you?
No,
As simple as that.
absolutely no. No, absolutely
No.
no.
In fact, the more mistakes you make, the more you learn.
Oh, absolutely. And this is the one thing I think I learned, not to be embarrassed if my show doesn't do well. And it takes a little while because you really feel embarrassed. Let's face it, Harper and Domingos, you feel embarrassed. But I mean, that's the way it is. What can you do? I mean, it's not as if I'm doing it on purpose. Something always goes wrong. I'm forever changing with Logitech and, doing things with, oh my goodness, And that's another with Logitech.
There's a reason why actors and sitcoms and all that stopped filming in front of live audiences, is because of all the errors and everything else. They couldn't edit it out. So, I mean, that's just part of being live. I mean, it's kind of
I love it.
not really a risk. It's just a challenge. I mean, so.
Yeah, I know. And some people find it very difficult to fill in space. When maybe your guest comes in a little bit later, they have trouble with that. But for me now, it doesn't bother me at all. I'll just talk about something else or finish the show up early. I mean, like I'm not going to go in and edit. I mean, like, we're not making millions of dollars with this. We're making nothing. So, you can't spend the time. Let's face it.
Yeah. I mean, in general, we do it because we enjoy it, Dom.
Things always seem to always happen when you're going live. That's why, like you said, Maria, it's filling up space before you're waiting for a guest to come in. I'm still working on that myself. Trying to think of things to talk about while I wait for the guest to be ready. But I'm also learning to I think you mentioned it before, Stephen, about looking at the camera, so it kind of looks like you're talking to your audience. And still learning to do that. But live streaming, it's absolutely fantastic. I would recommend anybody get into it because that's how you meet fantastic people like yourselves.
Absolutely. A different form of communication.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And the other thing I find, I don't know about you, Harper, Domingos, or Stephen, but I spend a lot of time even teaching the people who are coming onto the show how to use the software. I mean, some people don't even know how to use Be Live. They don't because they don't have that program. But even to get them all hooked up, it would take about 10, 15 minutes sometimes just for them to go in and out, So that's
Mhm.
another thing, is teaching them while we're
Yeah.
learning ourselves.
Yeah, the first time I actually got introduced to live streaming was by my friend David Burrows.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen knows him as well.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
used to do
Yes.
a community show for, what was it, like 3 years or something, wasn't it, Stephen? Your community show that you and Dave did?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was something like 3 years. And then that's how I ended up meeting Stephen, was through that community show. And then Dave taught me how to do live streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And once I got into it, I just fell in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's being able to reach a broader horizon, like of viewers. You may not have a number of people viewing you while you're live, but it's the people who come back and watch the replays.
Oh,
So,
sure. And they're always there. They're always there, right? Which is nice. Yeah.
and if they
Um,
comment, I like that. Like that, if they comment on your replay, you get notifications so you can go back and reply to them.
well,
Definitely,
we're
that's one of the things. That's one of the things that I see on YouTube is uh, people talk to, like, they're like a typical they do things live all the time,
Mhm,
is
mhm,
they don't go back and answer questions afterwards, because you can tell, like, if a video has been on there for like 4 years, and then it'll
mhm,
say like 3 years, and somebody will comment, and so it's been 3 years but nobody's ever actually answered that
mhm,
person's
mhm,
questions. I
mhm,
mean, it's kind of, and that's kind of an exaggerated thing, but it's the same thing on our broadcast. If somebody comes on and comments, it's like, you
mhm.
know because you're not just entertaining the live viewers, you're entertaining anybody who's watching it at any point. And
Mhm,
Yeah,
so,
mhm.
yep.
absolutely.
And we
And
love
speaking
comments, so.
Sorry, and speaking about comments, I don't find many people are commenting now like they used to. I think things have changed, like Stephen was saying on Facebook. But Stephen, do you by any chance have you made a video that we can send to our guests of how to get into Be Live and for them to get themselves prepped up for that I could send? I think that'd be really useful for me to send out to people so I don't have to spend my time explaining it to them. Have you done a video on that?
Right. And there are two things. There is a video on YouTube that
Okay.
I created, which is still relevant. And there's a full help system on the Belive support site. And I'll send you a link to both
Okay. So I can
after the
send it to
broadcast.
them.
Because it's the web page you can send people to, and they can just read through it from top to bottom. And what's more, it's searchable. So if they're on a browser, they'll have
Mhm.
one way of doing it. If they're on Android phone, another way, and iPhone. So it covers all bases. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Great.
Okay.
Awesome.
Right. My apologies to Corinda, because
Yeah.
Corinda's been messaging since we actually started. I've only just
Yeah.
seen it.
Yeah.
Seeing that,
Okay.
Yeah, he's headed back
Okay.
to the hospital.
I know. I know. Good luck, Surinder. Good
yeah,
luck. God bless you.
yeah, yeah. Trender actually told me about
Uh,
some live streaming and stuff too as well. Because him and
yeah.
we also do a show ourselves. Now that I have my FB Live back again, I hope we can get back into it when
Hmm.
he's feeling better. But it's Your Favorite Disabilities, True Stories with Corinder and Domingos, and we also do a show called The Boxing Show. We haven't done that in a long time, or the other show either, and we flip flop as to who's going to produce it, which day. And I think it was every other, it's either every Tuesday or every other Tuesday that we did the show. I can't remember for sure. Corinda would probably be able to tell you better, but no, it's fantastic just to when you're live streaming, you can talk about just anything that you want, or anything that pertains to you personally, like any kind of medical situation like I do. I I broadcast about life with MS because I have had MS for 18 years. So that's why I started a group in a sport group and a page on Facebook. And I've had them for quite some time now. But it's just talk about whatever is on your mind. You know, sky's the limit.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent.
So,
And I understand, Stephen, you have a Udemy course, do you not? That people might be interested in?
no, the Udemy course is 2019.
Okay.
That I did 4 courses on Udemy, all about Be Live, following it from 2016
Oh,
up
wow.
to 2019. And I had one of the courses was free, and
Mm-hmm.
it was 3 hours long.
Yeah.
And then Udemy decided that free courses should only be 40 minutes long.
Oh,
So
Oh wow.
yeah.
my courses just had to leave. Okay.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
I've done all the videos and they're all on YouTube. So the
Mm-hmm.
whole course
Mm-hmm.
is on YouTube. I haven't changed it for about a year, but
Mm-hmm.
most of what was in there is still relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, especially the introduction video, which was only done in April this year. So that's reasonably up to date, Don.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And over to Corinda. Corinda is saying he met Amir Khan, interviewed him. Yep.
Okay.
Do you remember him, Don?
Um, no, I don't think so.
I don't
Uh,
know.
Oh, it must have been Corinda who did it. And
yeah.
Maria, what is the photograph behind you?
That's my book, Double Your Income Using Social Media, that I wrote in 2015. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
2015. Mhm.
Right.
So,
And the picture to the right of the dresser?
oh, on here
No, yeah.
to my right, right? My right?
No, right.
My
Okay,
right.
you can see the book.
Yeah.
Your left.
Yeah, yeah. Next to the book on the wall.
Next to the book on the wall. Right
Oh, am I
here?
missing? Just a
Oh,
minute.
over
Just
there. Over
That
there?
just
one. Yes.
Oh, that's a painting. That's a painting, and I think what it is just some beautiful historic architecture. I have it on both sides actually, this wall and that wall. So probably Greek architecture or something like that.
Yeah,
I
it
love.
looks like Mediterranean area somewhere, but
Yes, yeah, for sure, for sure.
nice.
Uh, see,
and Corinda's saying, can you teach him how to write a book?
Sure. It's a long process, Corinder. I'm happy.
Hmm.
It's a
And
long process. Took me hours and hours and hours and hours. I mean it, guys. 4 years. I was working on it for about 4 years.
yeah,
But yeah, I can teach you how to do, but it takes a lot of work.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
I think you can agree with that, Dom.
yes,
yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, it took me a little, I'd say, close to 2 years to completely finalize my book.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, to write a book, you just start jotting things down there, Grinder. Just whatever
Mhm.
pops in your head, jot it down, and
Yeah,
if it
yeah.
doesn't make sense, then find a way of rewording it.
Mhm, mhm.
Yep.
Domingo, have you self-published? Because I self-published it. I even got my
And
ISBN number. I got everything. I learned everything from the bottom up.
No,
Did you?
and I did self-publish. I actually went to Rose Gold Publishing.
Okay.
Dolly Cortez is the owner and the president. She was my ghostwriter.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Excellent.
and she helped me remember things that I had long forgotten, and they're all in my book now. And
Mhm.
my book from response from people who bought it locally here in town. They've said that it's inspired them in numerous ways. Some even said it inspired them to not to give up hope on losing weight, and just fantastic to know that it's helping so many people who are reading it. And I read some of the reviews on Amazon. I've tried to reply to them, but I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But just to let people know that I am watching. So I want them to know that they're appreciated for buying my book, because while not only is it an inspirational story, I actually donate 40% of every book sold to the MS Society of Canada.
That's
So
wonderful. Yeah,
Nice,
wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
very nice.
so it's just a way of paying it forward.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure, for sure.
yeah, so,
Yeah.
writing a book is fantastic.
Yeah. Question from Corinda. I think if I take myself off, sat still. Sorry, I was doing things in the background. I don't want to distract everybody. Corinda, what
Was
Corinda's question is: was it Lottie Hearn who helped you?
No, it wasn't Lottie Hearn. It was Dolly Cortez.
And Dolly was part of a duo, a
Yeah,
Superwoman duo.
yep.
Uh,
The was the 24-hour Power Hour with Dolly and Anita, and then they rebranded it as the DNA Authority.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I produced the show on Be Live for about 6 months, and it was fun to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then it took off on their own.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They actually interviewed me. It was before my book came out. You can find the interview on my YouTube channel. It's about an hour and 21 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
It's There's a couple of questions that were asked during the interview that were a little on the tough side, but I answered them as truthfully as I could, and there's a lot of laughs and the whole kit and caboodle. It kind of asked for a better interview. Um, you know, have fun with your interviews.
Sure, I agree.
Oh,
I
definitely.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the magic of live video is interviews.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Otherwise, it's boring, right? If it's only you talking, you
Yeah,
know. I mean, if I'm going to talk myself now, it's probably just a maximum 5 to 8 minutes because people don't want to listen longer than that. It seems now people can retain less and less, Stephen. I find people retain less and less all the time. So, too much, unless they're really into it, they won't watch the whole video. Are you finding the same thing, Domingos and Harper?
Hmm.
Stephen,
yeah,
kind of the
yeah,
same thing.
yeah.
I think a lot of it depends on the content that you're doing.
Mhm.
If it's something that they want to learn, if you're teaching
Mhm.
something or the
Mhm.
subject that you're talking on,
Yeah.
if not, then they're like, oh, I'll catch the next one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'll never come back. Yeah, I know. Yeah, just like I do too, right? If it's not interesting, I'll just
well,
skim through
and
and see what I
sometimes
like.
they will. It's you never know. It's amazing how many people will watch but not comment. And so
Yes, or not
you
even
don't really know
subscribe.
until you start looking at the analytics, and then you're like going, "Wow, I didn't know there was that many people actually watching." So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think the thing about Facebook is that if more people watch your live videos, then it costs Facebook money
Oh,
yeah,
because they've got to stream out.
okay.
yep.
And I think it's part of a cost cutting exercise. I mean, we started broadcasting many years ago and we've been consistent and we've been getting better. And now that we're at our best,
Mm-hmm.
Facebook turns
They're
around and says,
limited.
we're not going to
Yeah.
show you to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and that's a problem. If you're relatively new to broadcasting, then you can still build an audience. And there are
Mm-hmm.
shows which are doing well, but
Mm-hmm.
they're in the minority. The majority of us who've been broadcasting for several years are
Yes.
losing out on Facebook because the
Mm-hmm.
algorithms, as you just inferred, says you've done this before. People don't need to watch it.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, and
yeah,
I mean we've gone when we first started. Let's reminisce a moment. When we first
Mm-hmm.
started,
Yeah, of course.
we 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 used to get thousands of views
Yeah.
If you go back to 2016, 2017, when we went live, thousands of people would watch. Then gradually, it has fallen,
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing that we can do about it apart from throw money at it. And
Yes.
is
Yes.
it a proposition to actually say, all right, okay, I've done the broadcast now. I want a lot more people to see it. I'm going to pay $20 to Facebook. They'll show it to a lot of people. And I would say no, it's not, because if once you've thrown $20 this week, you've got to throw
Mm-hmm.
$20 next week, and the week
Yeah.
after that, and
That's
the
it.
week after that,
Yep.
you're actually
Yep.
into a. And the other thing is, and this is a general problem,
Mm-hmm.
that in terms of a broadcast, at the beginning of a broadcast, there's either a countdown clock,
Mm-hmm.
which runs for a minute, or even worse, 5 minutes, or worse than that, 10 minutes. And the
Mm-hmm.
other
Oh my
thing is,
gosh.
at the start of a show, is that's the bit when you're warming up and getting going. And the
Mm-hmm.
good bits are actually inside the show. They're not on the
Yes.
outside, they're on the
Yes.
inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I
I can believe that if you have an hour show and you can find 2 or 3 clips, which are a couple of minutes long, then you can promote that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But trying to promote a whole show doesn't work, because people are not going to see the best bit. They're going to see the beginning, and it's the beginning that, with all due deference to everybody here, the beginning is
Mhm.
not the most interesting bit in the world. It's it's when everybody's in the flow and talking during the live show.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
agree.
definitely.
I agree.
The,
Yeah.
the content has to start rolling first, and when it hits its momentum, then that's when the
Yeah.
content is
Yeah.
at its prime.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
why I always wanted to have more than I used to have 3 or 4 people in the coming as guests, Stephen, and that was much more fun, right? And I remember years ago, maybe a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, or maybe a year ago. It's so long now. Is I would have lots of people commenting and watching, but it's just not happening now anymore. And I'm so glad that you spoke up about it, Stephen, because you kind of wonder: is my material even interesting? Should I even be spending the time producing this? I know it helps people, but if they're not seeing it, what's the sense of doing it, right? So I'm happy to hear about, Amazon now. I'm happy to hear about YouTube, which has been going on YouTube. But YouTube's another thing too. Is it as popular as it used to be? Are there as many people watching it? Like you kind of wonder. And I'm going to pass that over to you, Stephen, for advice as far as anyone listening to us about YouTube.
Yeah.
right. YouTube is good, but it's the majority of YouTube is people making beautifully crafted videos
Yes.
on niche topics.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to, I mean, if our boiler in the kitchen goes,
Mm-hmm.
then you go to YouTube, you type in the boiler number,
Oh
and
yeah.
you get a fix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically one of the ways in which people use it is a knowledge base that people can actually refer to. I think
Yeah.
the difficulty is actually getting the audience. We used to say that if you want to do well on YouTube, take your audience from Facebook. Then we found that
Mm-hmm.
you can't take people from Facebook to YouTube because they're
Mm-hmm.
different
Yes.
people. Yeah,
Different audience. Different
yeah,
audiences.
it
Different
is. Yeah.
audiences. I
So
agree.
you have to work at it. You have to build it. And if YouTube is your thing and you're only
Mm-hmm.
going to be on YouTube and you're
Mm-hmm.
exclusive to YouTube, you can succeed and you can
Mm-hmm.
start any time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um, but I don't know. Anyway, let's go. I'll just catch up with Corinda because Corinda's going like
Yes.
a
He has some
train.
questions actually. Yeah, he has some questions there. Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay, I'll come back in a minute, Maria.
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
Corinda's saying he used to get 400 views on Facebook Live.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, those were the
yeah,
days.
Wow.
Uh, people copying each other. Right. Okay, let's find out more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how Corinda types so fast. I'm always amazed.
That was great.
Facebook's got a shop and Instagram's got a shop, and everybody's live shopping is the way to go if you've got something to sell.
Yeah.
Maria, can I ask you a question? What camera are you using? Yeah, it looks so smart and clear today.
He's so cute. The same one, Logitech. Like I paid like 249 Canadian dollars for it. It's the top brand of Logitech, but it's
Yeah,
also the one, Harp, if you remember that we thought it was a connection problem. That one every once in a while
yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone here have that same problem with Logitech? Like, I don't know. I've had that problem since I got it. But anyways, Corinda, thank you for saying I look smart and clear. That's the one it is.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that the your camera wasn't glitching.
Not today.
I was thinking Max Headroom Pepsi commercials back in the day, if you remember those from the 80s.
That's what I use as the Logitech webcam.
I love it. I love it. I mean, yeah.
They're great
But
cameras.
they're great cameras. Well, they're a great product. You were saying last time we're using it. You know, we're not even realizing we're using it all over the place,
They've
right?
been around. They've been around for a couple
Yeah.
decades now. So yeah.
I wish they would get into making computers. I think they would be solid if Logitech got into computers.
They're that's not their
Solid.
thing, but
Yeah. Solid
and
company.
that would be a hard thing to start a new, you
Yeah.
know, a new computer company.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a diehard Compact computer. If you remember those, they
Oh,
packaged
yes, I do.
in
Yeah,
the cowl boxes and stuff. I loved theirs. I mean, I remember when I bought the top of the line desktop, and it had it was a 750 megahertz processor, and it was like that was the top of the line at the time. You know?
Yeah, we've been very lucky to actually watch all this develop from the early days with Commodore and the Apple IIe, and
we had one of those when I was a kid too, and I couldn't understand it. I used to get the I guess part of my life before I know it kind of took a turn, but I was kind of going down that, you know, computer programming thing. We used to get Byte magazine, BYTE, and it would have each episode or each issue would have a program that you write, and you would literally type it in the basic language, and you typically get something wrong, and so it was kind of a way for you to look at something and see how to fix it to get it to work right. And so, I mean, that was kind of that explains why my little brother went that route. I kind of saw, you know, hey, this isn't for me, and so I kind of changed, adapted to life. But yeah, it was interesting, you know, on an Apple IIe and stuff. I'm just like going, I don't understand this. So
I can remember back in high school, it's the old IBMs and the Macintosh.
Yeah.
They're like really, they're their thing of the day, but to see where that was not then and to what we've actually progressed to nowadays, it's just astronomical.
Yeah,
it's true.
You're going to laugh. My first computer was a Macintosh, which I loved, right? But I had to have a girlfriend come over to show me how to start it. I didn't even know how to turn it on. You know, and like I learned, like I would have continued with the Mac. I mean, that was the best because she was, I guess, using it in business, so she knew how to teach it. But it wasn't compatible, I guess, to the new computers that were coming out, I should say. So that's why I switched. And I had to go to high school. Like I went to night school, which was held in high schools, to teach me how to work the other system. You know?
Macintosh was kind of an Apple thing. I don't think they had blended yet. But yeah, you had the Mac stuff, you had the Apple stuff, and then you had the IBM PC, what we call PC stuff. So everybody was still trying to have their own. It was kind of like the videotapes. You had Beta, and then you had VHS. Well, VHS won. So, but yeah.
Yeah, those were the days.
No kidding. No kidding.
That's when I learned to program. I was an accountant. Okay, that's how I started out. I studied accountancy, and then I went to be an accountant at a travel agents in Blackburn, which is about 20 miles from Manchester. And my job was to keep the books. There was a travel firm, normal travel agency. You go and book your holiday, you pay a deposit, you get an invoice 6 weeks before you come in and pay the balance. Okay,
right.
That's the way it works in the UK.
Mhm.
Yeah, it wasn't
because a
online
lot
yet.
of package holidays go on. It's not. You don't design your own holiday. In those days, you took a package holiday to Spain or
Yeah.
Portugal, yeah. And I just kept the books. And then the boss said to me, said, basically, what I want is I want a computer that controls all that, so that it can record the booking and remind us when to send out the reminder. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that it would automatically be printed off, and all the staff would do it is put it in the envelope. Print today's reminders, put it in the
Mhm.
envelope. Okay.
Mhm.
Automation. That was the
Mhm.
beginning. And I
Hmm.
knew nothing about computers. Um, so I thought, right, okay, this is what I got right, because I went out and I bought a Commodore PET for $995. I bought a twin floppy disk drive, $995,
Oh my
and I
Yep.
bought a
God.
printer, $995. There's just something about the pricing. It was $1,000 a unit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I with it came some software for doing accounts. Okay,
Mhm.
for customers and suppliers and invoicing and everything, but it was written in BASIC, yeah, and it didn't quite work. So you got two choices, because I wanted to offer a bureau service to people. I'll do your invoicing for you, yeah. I'll do it on
Yeah.
computer. You don't have to type them out anymore. It'll be on computer. But it didn't work. And when it didn't work, I had two choices: either throw away 3 grand or get to know how to program. So that's
Hmm.
how I learned how to program, self-taught.
Yep.
And I pulled apart the sales ledger, the debtors ledger, the creditors ledger, and the cash book, and reassembled them so
Oh
that they
my.
actually worked.
Oh.
And then, having got that, I was then providing a service to people that we knew doing their accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody heard about the software I wrote for the travel
Mhm.
agents, because I did
Mhm.
write the software, and I went to join a computer company called Nelson Computer Services, and that
Wow.
was my start in computing. I stayed there for
Amazing.
quite a while.
Amazing. Amazing.
You know,
Did you,
to
sorry,
this,
go ahead. Heather.
we talked about basic language, and to this day, anytime I use the words go to, like I'm telling somebody, go to this, it's combined.
Yeah.
It's one word,
Oh,
which is part of that language.
There was a war went on then between BASIC
oh
programmers
yes.
and Pascal programmers. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Pascal
Hmm.
Yes.
programmers said, you're not a real programmer when you use
Mhm.
BASIC, because you can use GoTo. And that's
Mhm.
just, you don't
Yep.
do that in good code. You never put GoTo.
I know. Do you remember the commercial that they had on TV where they were trying to promote Macintosh and Apple? I don't understand the difference, but just bear with me. What the essence of what I'm trying to say. And they had these two guys sitting at their desk going through this big book. Do you remember that? And the woman says, "Just get a Mac.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything's in there already." And the same thing with the commercial with the Honda, where the Honda, they're showing two people, and the Honda already filled up, and the other one still keeps on going with the American car. And a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? I remember that commercial, those
Yeah.
two commercials.
Right.
We'll
Catching up
we'll
with
probably start seeing those with electric vehicles. Cars having to
Yeah,
stop at the long lines for the gas. I mean, we saw that back in the '70s too. It was like,
yeah,
you got the big gas guzzlers. Now you got the little compact cars, and
yeah, 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 for
I,
sure.
I, yeah, I did a show last Friday on Amazon Live, and
Hmm.
basically my idea was to talk about the importance of sound in broadcasts.
Hmm.
I invited Chris, and Chris came along with Christopher and came along with 4 microphones. Then a
Yeah.
chap
Oh,
called Rick Glover from Atlanta joined us as well,
yeah. Hmm.
and we're joined by Chris Dorling. Now, it was his first ever live, and for his first ever live, he was pretty good, pretty confident. But he's a Brit. He lives in Sweden, and he works for Volvo,
Okay.
and he's working on the artificial intelligence for driverless cars.
hmm
And that was a fascinating conversation, because
Yes.
what he said was, forget all this stuff that's going on at the moment. We're 7 to 10 years away
Hmm.
from a driverless car.
Hmm.
And
Seven to
Okay.
ten years.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah. I
sense.
mean, I wouldn't get in the driverless car now.
No, me neither.
way.
No.
No.
Me neither. But you know, the other thing too is I don't want a car that I have to stop every 400 kilometers or 200 and I have to plug it in and it has to recharge. I mean, that
And
to
that's the
me is a waste of
problem.
my time. I don't want that, right? Yeah, I just
Yeah.
go into a gas station, I fill up and I can keep going. So I wouldn't buy it because of that reason, you
Yeah.
know, freedom.
Where I live is, if you guys aren't really familiar with Arizona, but basically the state is, like a tall rectangle. I live at the very bottom. I live right next to Mexico, and
Mhm.
for me to go to San Diego, I mean, it's 100 miles north to a little over 100 miles just to go to Phoenix.
Mhm.
So there and back is over 200
200,
miles. But
yeah.
if I go from Tucson, we have a freeway that goes straight to San Diego over on the coast. That's 5 hours.
Hmm.
I wouldn't be able to. Where am I going to? There's
Yeah,
nowhere in between for me to
yeah,
stop and plug in. And,
yeah,
so it's like,
yeah.
yeah.
No.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
I
Too
mean, and
early.
that's
Too early.
it's about 500, about almost 500 miles. So
Yeah.
obviously you can tell the speed limit's a little higher,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but uh, but yeah, I mean, it's yeah. There's not enough places to plug in right now, and I'm sure the electric cars come with an app going, hey, here's places where you can plug in, but it's like, if I got to look for it, and it's not like a normal gas
Yeah.
station. It's like, what's
Yeah.
the?
Yeah.
We're not ready for that yet. So
Mhm.
No.
In the sorry, Dom, you go.
Yeah, I agree with you, Arbor. We're not ready for that. Like, um, with a tank of gas, you can, some vehicles can get 900 to 1,000 kilometers for one tank.
Mhm.
I don't know what that converts to in miles, but that's a good distance. So you can go from, well, I'm in Sarnia, Ontario, and on a full tank, you can go from here to Toronto and back, depending on what kind of vehicle you have.
Mhm.
And still have, by the time you get back to Sarnia, still have about a quarter of a tank of gas.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
But I don't see
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't see you being able to do that with an electric car.
No,
You'd have
not
to
at all.
no,
go get as
Not
far
at
as Toronto, stop, plug it in. God only knows how long it's going to take to recharge,
Mhm.
and then turn around, come back, and then you got like about a 3.5 hour drive to come back.
Mhm. Mhm. It's not just the time, which is worth money to us, but it's also costs what, double to recharge? Not
Pretty much.
cheap, right? It's not
No,
cheap to
yeah,
recharge. Why would you
no,
be spending that money? I just don't get it.
No.
no,
Yeah.
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 electricity
And
is too.
go ahead.
Right.
Electricity is just too expensive.
And that's what I was going to say is, it's not like gas where the price of oil can go down. Electricity is not going to go down at any point. The electric company in that region, wherever you're at, it's
Yeah,
only going to go up and up and up and up. I've never seen the power company go, hey, you know what, we're going to lower our prices.
no,
You know, and
no, no,
if you're going to make an electric car, there's got to be something. You know, we've got solar panels. Why is the top of it not a solar panel to recharge the
Yeah,
car while it's driving? I
absolutely.
mean, there's got to be some
Absolutely.
way for it to charge itself. So
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
I kind of question that when it comes to having wheelchairs, as to why they don't have an alternator built into the chair so it recharges the
Mhm.
batteries where you're going.
Mhm.
yep,
But
Sure. That
they
makes sense.
but they say that they're concerned that they added weight. Well, what's an extra 3-4 pounds of something that already weighs about 450 pounds?
Hmm.
exactly,
Hmm.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, like anything that people think it's sexy. I mean, these companies get billions of dollars from the government to work on these
Yeah,
projects. Right? So it's
Yeah,
very handy for the business. They're making money, bringing products that may not be the best thing for us to use financially, and also for the environment. Like electricity costs us a lot of money just to produce electricity, unless
yeah,
we really go really deep into using the wind, the solar, the water, right? So they have to work within their infrastructure. Wouldn't you think they would have to work with the infrastructure to bring
yeah,
us up to a point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the UK, they've just a law has just been passed that every new house that's built has to have a charging point. Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh
So
wow.
Oh, come on. Can you
Wow.
imagine if you had a rental? Can you imagine if you had a rental and the people living there are going to charge? Who's going to pay the electrical bill? Doesn't
Imagine
make
the
any
price the price of
yeah,
new houses. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
They're trying to do that here in the US with
wow.
that Green New Deal or whatever it was.
Mhm,
That
mhm.
was part of their thing, was that they were going to make it where houses had to be somewhat, self-sufficient, or made of some kind of green energy. And
Mhm.
I mean, if you guys remember last winter, when the extremely cold weather came down from Canada, reached all the way down into Texas. With Texas has already changed, I think, a good portion, maybe up to even half of their electricity to wind, and
Mm.
there are all of those big, huge wind turbines. They ended up freezing, and they had
Yeah.
to get helicopters to defrost the blades of the wind turbines so that they can just have power. I mean, the whole state of Texas was
Yeah.
practically out of power, and
Wow.
but they were stuck, and that's a southern, what we call a southern state. You
Mhm.
can't do that up in the northern states, where I mean, you get 3 or 4 months of snow and ice.
Yeah.
That would never work.
No.
So
Okay, let's
It's not
let's,
practical.
let's catch up
no,
with
no, it's
Corinda.
really not yet.
Okay, catching up with Corinda because he's keeping us company.
Yes.
If you right, Stephen, if you've been approved, I'm going to presume if you've been approved from Amazon Live, do you need a Mac or Windows or just an iPhone? You need your iPhone and either Mac or Windows. Doesn't matter which. You've got to have one of the two.
Mhm. Okay.
Is he
Next week,
talking about Amazon?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah,
from
there you
Amazon
go.
Live, yeah. Uh, and Corinda is saying, what does DHL stand for? That's
Mhm.
pretty random, but what does it stand for? Do we know?
No.
No, we don't.
Wow.
We
No.
don't
I
know.
think that's
Sorry.
isn't
We
that
know
a
it as
shipping
DHL.
company? I think DHL is a shipping
It is,
transportation
yeah,
company.
yeah. I don't know. And does anyone
MS
remember MS
DOS.
DOS?
Oh, yeah,
Oh my God,
God.
yes. Wait,
That was that
that was
big book, wasn't it? Wasn't that big book, MS DOS?
well, that was what Windows was before Windows. It was
Indeed.
Microsoft. It came out as Microsoft 1.0, which actually
Yeah.
just came out. It had its birthday like the end of November, back in
Okay.
1985. It came out as Windows 1.0. I don't even think there was even a 2.0 released. Then it was 3.0.
Yeah.
And then they started working towards a Windows. But yeah,
Yeah.
yep,
Wow.
MS DOS. The black screen with the little flashing cursor, and
Yeah, I remember that. They're all in my basement. Would you believe it? The original Apple or Macintosh or whatever I had, Macintosh, right? It's still in my basement. I have to pull it
Right.
up and just see what's going on, right? I mean, I have all my computers in the basement.
See if it still works, because these
Yeah.
days things are definitely not built to last. Back in the
Yeah.
80s, it's quite possible.
I still
I
had
still
my.
Um,
I until I moved down here in fall of 2017. I still had my compact computer with that 750 megahertz. It was
Yeah.
slow on the internet, and I couldn't update anything. But I had a game that I used to play from back in the 90s, Age of Empires 2, and I had
Yeah.
it on there, and I used to play it, and so I would use it as like a word processor and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But in fact, I have that game because they actually revised it, and because they tried like 3 or 4 games after, and they failed, and so they went back to that game. So I have the updated version on this. But yeah, it still worked. But boy, it was slow.
But the thing is, when you get a new computer, you realize how slow the old one was.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We always
Yeah,
want
you didn't
things to
realize
work.
how slow it was until you got a new one.
Yeah,
That's right.
Then you're
exactly.
like, oh,
but my PC at home is nowhere near as fast as my laptop. I just bought my laptop here a few months ago, bought it used, and it's 3 years old. And it's a gaming laptop, and it's a Dell. Uh,
Mhm.
so I have my one at home. It's an HP, which I need to update my video and sound card because they're kind of lagging. So I gotta get that updated. But I've got 5 terabytes of hard drive on my PC at home, and my laptop has a 1 terabyte hard drive.
Yeah.
But I'm noticing laptops nowadays don't even have a spot for a CD drive because everything's all done
That's true. Yeah.
all done by USB.
Yeah, I got a question last night
Mhm.
from Divine. Now, I don't know whether you've come across Divine at all. He runs Chatting Out Africa,
No.
which goes out on Belive, and he's based in the States, but of African descent. And he came with a question. My Wi-Fi at home is terrible. What I want to do is I
Mhm.
want to plug in a Cat7 cable,
Mhm.
but there's no socket for it on my new laptop. The net,
Yeah,
the network cable disappeared.
Wow.
Socket
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah. That's a problem.
everything's going Wi-Fi only. So
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, Dom, I've got an HP. I don't even know what it's called anymore. HP something or other. Oh, Pavilion G7, and I had thought about, okay, I need to update this if I'm going to be doing live videos and stuff like that. I need to update, get a gaming computer, and so I looked at the software that this had, the software and hardware that this laptop had, and compared it to what a gaming computer had, and what I actually found out is this actually has a good process, a good everything else. The only thing that was lacking was the RAM and the hard drive. So I put I could have put a 2 or maybe even a 3 terabyte hard drive in it, but I went with I upgraded it to a 1. I think it came with a 500, whatever. But I upgraded it to a 1 terabyte. And everything else, the processor and everything was equivalent to it has I think the AMD, the AMD A8. So, I mean, it's a good processor and everything. So, and I like it because it's the 17.3-inch screen. So,
Yeah.
it was the first laptop I think that came out with a 17-inch screen, and of course I couldn't find a bag for it because nothing was that wide. But yeah, so I mean and this is I think a 2015. So, but it works. I mean, and this is the camera I'm using, and but
Yeah.
I wasn't happy with the camera that came on the laptop with the laptop. So I have that Logitech USB cam.
Mhm.
The one that's on the laptop's only 780p, where the USB webcam is 1080.
Yeah.
This one is a 4K. Mine's a 4K. Does that make sense? That's what I got. Was a 4K. Yeah. And I think, just thinking back to what Corinda was saying, that I look so clear, is because I have no lights on. I just have natural sunlight coming in.
Yeah.
Maybe that's been the problem all along. But at night, you can't use the natural sunlight. There isn't any, right? But
Yeah.
today we have, it's cloudy, but there's enough sun. So maybe that's why you don't see so much reflection on my glasses. Oh, God, guys, it's not one thing, it's another, right? It's one thing or another.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's hard saying when it comes to lighting. I mean, you could tell like earlier, it was different. Like if I close the door, then I'm using my ring light.
Oh,
But then
yes, yes.
if I use the natural light, it's reflecting off that wall, and of course,
That's nice.
Yeah.
No, but that's nice because if you look at if you go on YouTube and you see the people that are really professionally doing videos like Stephen was talking about, you'll see one side of their face is darker than the other. So it gives them more dimensions. And I actually bought some cords to put behind me to add a little bit more lights. My friend Edward has to put it up because again, I'm not technical, right? So you might see some changes when I do my videos at night, right? Or even during the day. But oh yeah, there's so much to learn. There's so much to learn. But Stephen knows so much and Marco knows so much. What happened to Marco? Does he have a show on or something, Stephen?
Misunderstood Marco. I said, "Are we having a show at 5?" And he said, "Yes. Can you host it?" feeling a bit dizzy. So hopefully Marco is okay. But I thought he was too. Well,
Too busy.
we've done the show. We've
Yeah.
got ahead. Hopefully Marco will join us next week. Just catching up with Corinda.
Way to
And
go,
Corinda
Marco.
saying, guys, have a great show. I am going in for pre-op blood test. I hate needles. And then the next
Good
bit
luck. Good luck.
is
He asks us to do a show for him, Stephen. Yeah.
you've all been best friend to me, and same here, Corinda.
Same to you, Corinda.
Really,
Yep,
Grinder.
definitely Crinder.
Right. Okay. Corinda. This is key. Just from me. Your show will keep for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
Just get better. That's the only thing that matters.
Yes, don't worry about
Show
it.
Take
you
care of
can come
yourself
back
first.
when
Yeah.
you're ready.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um,
Just relax. It'll be okay.
Yep.
We love you too.
Your fans will understand.
indeed.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, well, we've come to that time of the show, amazingly. This
Wow,
time
right?
just flies as we're chatting. Harper, it's over to you. And you've got to be prepared this time because I've done this before.
Well, we thank everybody for watching. Crinder, definitely take care and take care of yourself first, then come back and do your show. From Tucson, Arizona to Sarnia, Ontario, and I can't remember Stephen's city. From the U.S., Canada, and the U.K., we want to thank everybody for watching.
Yeah.
Have a great week. We'll be back Wednesday, same time next week.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
God bless Corinda. Hugs and kisses, Corinda. Bye, everyone.